run for man. The clock no run for Jah. The clock no run for man. The clock run for Jah. What Jah set in motion from near and from far cannot be accelerated by the anxiety of the waiting. Cannot be slowed down by the comfort of the resting. The clock no run for man. The clock run for purpose, and the purpose have a timetable beneath the surface of what you can see, of what you can measure, of what you can calculate with your human pleasure, of thinking you control the very thing that controls you. The clock no run for man, it run for Jah alone. The clock no run for man, it run toward the throne of the one who set the seasons, set the years and set the days. The clock no run for man, so stop watching it with fear and with amazement, like it owe you something like a timeline. Is this same as just timeline? The clock no run for man, racing at the timing of the one who made the clock and knows exactly what it's keeping time for. Abraham wait years for the promise, years of confusion and of question, years of looking at his body and his wife's body and the biological lesson. Saying impossible, but Jah no check biology. When Jah making covenant, Jah check the appointed time, and when the appointed time arrive, Isaac arrive with it. And all the years of waiting was the preparation of a father for a son who would carry more than Abraham could have angled if the sun come early. The clock no run for man. Even Abraham learned that. How many times you look at the clock and ask Jah, why so long? How many times you compare your timeline to the man beside you and question, why him always coming in and you're still green? The clock no run for man, it run for purpose, and your purpose no ready yet. But what you have is carrying. When it come, it will require everything you are still becoming. Right now, keep waiting. The clock no run for man. Thank Jah for the waiting. It is making you ready. So me lay down my watch, me lay down my calendar, me lay down the measuring of what should already occur, according to my calculation, according to my plan. And me remember one more time, the clock no run for man. Me pick up the piece instead, the piece of Jah that passeth every understanding, every schedule, every deadline that I fashioned with my limited perception of what time is for. The clock no run for man, it run for something more than I can currently see from where I standing. The clock no run for man, it run for Jah alone. The clock no run for man, it run toward the throne of the one who set the seasons, set the years and set the days. The clock no run for man, so stop watching it with fear and with amazement, like it owe you something like your timeline. Is this same as just timeline? The clock no run for man, resting on the timing of the one who made the clock and knows exactly what it keeping time for.
Issachar was a man who read
Issachar, just stop and look. Look on the sky and read the clouds. Look on the seas and know the hour. Never move before the moving time. Never rush the fruit before the flower. This is the wisdom of the ancient. The wisdom them not teach in a school. The man who know the time in moving is the wisest and the most powerful tool. In a Jah hand, in a Jah purpose, in a the plan just set from creation. The sons of Issachar still living in a every tribe and every nation. Sons of Issachar, arise, read the time before your eyes. Sons of Issachar, Jah wisdom is the greatest prize. No follow the crowd in a them hurry, no let the world create your worry. Sons of Issachar, stand firm. It's not your season yet, so learn to read the time, to read the sign, to walk in the appointed line of Jah purpose. Sons of Issachar, arise. The world want everything right now. Instant gratification, them bow before the altar of the speed. Not stopping long enough to feed the root before them chase the fruit. Not sitting long enough to suit the patience that the season need before the harvest come to see. But the sons of Issachar, them know that everything have a time to grow, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to wake, a time to sleep, a time for war, a time for peace, a time to hold, a time release. And the man who cannot tell the difference will always be in the wrong season, doing the wrong thing at the wrong time with all the right intention. Hear me now, the ancients say there is a time for everything under the sun. Everything, not some things, everything. Oh, the morning and the dancing, the planting and the pulling up, the silence and the speaking, the emptying and the filling up. All of it have a time, all of it have a reason. And the wisest man alive is the man who know the season before him step into it, who wait at the door of the time until Jah open it. And not one moment before. That is Issachar, that is the sons of Issachar, walking in a this time, reading what others are rushing past, standing where others are running from, knowing what the hurrying world will only understand when the season already done. So me say to every youth who feel like life too slow, who feel like them deserve the harvest, but the harvest not ready to show. Learn the lesson of the farmer who plant and then him walk away, who not stand over the soil, demanding fruit before it's there. The soil know what it carry in the season, know its length. And the man who trusts the process is the man who find his strength. Not in a the rushing, not in a the forcing, but in a the faithful waiting of a man who know that Jah's appointed time is always exactly on time. Sons of Issachar, sons of Issachar, arise. Read the time before your eyes. Sons of Issachar, Jah wisdom is the greatest prize. No follow the crowd in a them hurry, no let the world create your worry. Sons of Issachar, stand firm. It's not your season yet, so learn to read the time, to read the sign, to walk in the appointed line of Jah purpose. Sons of Issachar, arise. Issachar, Issachar, the sons them arise. Oh, oh, oh. Issachar, oh, oh. The sons them arise. The planting and the reaping, the immovable of sowing and harvest. From the foundation of the world, Jah established one law that run through every kingdom and every nation raw. What you plant is what you're reaping. What you sow is what you're keeping. In the harvest that is coming, when the season done, it's running. Through the planting and the waiting, and the tending and the patience, there is no exception to this law. In any place or situation, you plant, can you reap, can you plant love, you reap love back. You plant wisdom, you reap guidance. You plant lack, you reap the lack that you planted in the morning, when you could have planted more. The planting and the reaping is the oldest law alive. The planting and the reaping is the reason some survive and some arrive at harvest with an empty hand, because them plant what them carry and can't understand. Why the harvest not responding to the wanting and the needing, the planting and the reaping. Plant the right seed in the right ground at the right time and trust the reaping to the law that Jah established from the beginning. No, hear me pon the planting, because the planting is the choice, and the choice is where the power live, and the power is the voice of every man who decide what he putting in the ground of his time and of his energy, and the people he surround himself within at the planting. Because the company you keeping while you're planting is the company you reaping when the harvest come around. So plant yourself in good ground with good people and good purpose and good character and good seeking after Jah's own heart, and watch what the harvest bring you. My grandfather was a farmer, real earth man, red dirt under him fingernail. Every morning he never curse the soil. When the crops slow coming, him say the soil know what they doing. Trust the soil, meaning trust the process, meaning trust the law, meaning trust the Jah who set the law in motion before. Your grandfather's grandfather was a seed in his own father's intention. Trust the planting, do the planting faithfully, and the reaping will be everything the planting deserves. Some me plant generosity, and me wait for the return, not because me want the profit, but because me want to learn the satisfaction of the law working in my favor, because I worked it honestly and honored every layer of the covenant of sowing what I want to see increasing in the world around me and in the lives of those receiving from my planting. The planting and the reaping is not just agriculture, it is the philosophy of every human future, built on what we chose to put into the ground. The planting and the reaping is the oldest law alive. The planting and the reaping is the reason some survive and some arrive at harvest with an empty hand, because them plant what them can't reap and can't understand. Why the harvest no responding to the wanting and the needing, the planting and the reaping. Plant the right seed in the right ground at the right time and trust the reaping to the law that Jah established from the beginning. There is a time to be still and a time to advance. There is a time to be silent and a time to take your stance. And the man who cannot tell the difference between the two will advance when him should waiting and be silent when him should speak the word that changes everything around him. But the timing wrong, so the word land wrong, and the advance wrong, and the retreat wrong, and the whole thing wrong. Not because the man wrong, but because the timing wrong. And timing is almost everything. Walking at the appointed time. No step before Jah call you. Walking at the appointed time, or the step will be your downfall too. Everything you're building, walking at the appointed time. When Jah say go, then go. When Jah say wait, then wait. Walking at the appointed time, and find the open gate that no man can shut behind you. Once Jah open it, walking at the appointed time. Not before, not after, exactly when Jah said no. David was anointed king, but him never rushed the throne. Saul was still sitting on it, and David leaves Saul alone. Even when him had the chance to take what was already his by right, he said, I will not rush the timing of the Jah who set the light of the crown above my head in his own appointed season. And David walk away from the shortcut and the reason that the world would have accepted for the taking of the throne. And because him walk the appointed path, the kingdom he was shown was bigger than the one he would have taken by his own hand before Jah said no. Every shortcut has a price that you only discover after you reach where the shortcut took you and find that it left out the part of the journey that would have prepared you for where you arrived. So you arrive, but you arrive unready, and unready in the right place is more dangerous sometimes than ready in the wrong place. Walk the full road, walk the appointed road. Even when the shortcut looks like wisdom, it rarely is. It is usually impatience in a sensible coat. Me learning every morning to ask Jah before me moving, to check the wind before me sailing, to read the time before me choosing the action or the waiting, the speaking or the silence, the advancing or the holding of the ground with patient reliance on the Jah who see the whole road when I only see this corner. Walking at the appointed time, and be the wise informer of your own soul. That patience is not weakness, it is the most powerful tool in the arsenal of the man who walks exactly when Jah says no. Walking at the appointed time, no step before Jah call you. Walking at the appointed time, or the step will be your downfall to everything you're building. Walking at the appointed time, when Jah say go, then go. When Jah say wait, then wait. Walking at the appointed time, and find the open gate that no man can shut behind you. Once Jah open it, walking at the appointed time, not before, not after, exactly when Jah say no, 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 no. cannot be forced or stopped. Babylon move fast, like it on the calendar, like it set the terms of every man's particular journey through this earth, like it have the power to determine the hour of your rising and your falling, of your blessing and your calling. But Babylon can't rush destiny. Babylon can't touch destiny. What Jah write, no system can rewrite. What Jah seal, no court can unseal. What Jah plan, no Babylon can uproot. Babylon can't rush destiny. Let every man know this truth. Babylon can't rush destiny. Destiny, have Jah timing in it. Babylon can't rush destiny. Jah purpose, have Jah signing in it. You may delay the man, but you can delay the plan. Babylon can't rush destiny. You may lock the door, but you can't lock the calling. Babylon can't rush destiny. What Jah ordain will reach its ordained place in its ordained time, regardless of what Babylon put in the way. Babylon can't rush destiny. Bang, 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 bang. Joseph went to the pit before him went to the palace. The pit was part of the journey, not the end of the promise. The prison was the preparation, not the cancellation. Not the destiny that Egypt would one day be his nation, to rule and to preserve more lives than we can number. And all the while in the prison, Joseph never loses wonder. A teacher who gave the dream and would fulfill the dream in a time and in a way that no prison wall or scheme of any Babylon could interrupt or alter. Babylon can't rush destiny. It can't slow it neither. Tell Babylon, me destiny no enough. Your filing system in him no enough. Your database of limitations, what Jah write over my life. Your ink can't overwrite what Jah speaking to my mind. In your eyes can't drown out what Jah plant in my root. Your drought can't kill, so Babylon do what Babylon do, and Jah will do what Jah always do. Would you bring the destined thing to the destined person, or the destined time to the destined path that only look like a detour to everyone who could not read the map that Jah was drawing all along. Every man knew Babylon tried to stop. Tell me if them stopped. Every man knew Babylon tried to silence. Tell me if them lost the vice, the purpose, the destiny, the calling. Tell me if the pit stopped Joseph from the palace. Tell me if the lion then stopped Daniel from the morning. Tell me if the fire stopped the tree from standing in the middle of the furnace, singing praise. Babylon can't rush destiny, and Babylon can't stop it neither. So walk in your appointed time, my people, with the confidence of every man whose destiny Babylon tried and failed to interrupt. Babylon can't rush destiny. Destiny, have Jah timing in it. Babylon can't rush destiny. Jah purpose, have Jah signing in it. You may delay the man, but you can delay the plan. Babylon can't rush destiny. You may lock the door, but you can't lock the calling. Babylon can't rush destiny. What Jah ordained will reach its ordained place in its ordained time, regardless of what Babylon put in the way. Babylon can't rush destiny.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, hey. Them say no hurry come, is an old-time Jamaican saying, meaning what is coming for you, no need you're running and you're praying to speed it up beyond its time, because what just set aside for you is marked with your name on it, and it can't reach nobody else before it reach you. So why you running, why you rushing, why you forcing what you're planting, why you pulling up the root to check if it growing, when the checking is the thing that stop the growing. No hurry come, what job for you? No hurry come, it have your name right true and true. No hurry come, it can't pass you not the road. No hurry come, put down the heavy running load and walk, just walk in a the place just set for you. No hurry come, your blessing know exactly where you live. No hurry come, you see them man they rush the love before the love ready to receive them. Me see them rush the money before the character ready to keep them. In a position of abundance without the wisdom and the root, me see them take the shortcut and arrive broken at the fruit that was supposed to feed them for a lifetime if them patient. But rushing made it bitter, made it small, made it vacant of the sweetness that the waiting would have added to the flavor. No hurry come my people, learn to savor the journey, not just the arriving. You know, say, some fruit only sweet when it ripen in its own time. You force it off the tree too soon. It bitter in your mouth and you can't understand why, because it look like the fruit you was waiting for. It have the same shape, the same color, but it tastes wrong, because you took it before Jah finish working on it. Your blessing me just full attention before it reach you. Let Jah finish working on it for you. So me sit in the morning and me reason with the sun that rise without rushing every day since time begun. It not arrive before it's over, it not skip a single dawn, it just come when it appointed. Every morning right on time, faithful as the covenant that Jah make with the earth, that light would follow darkness every morning since the birth of time itself. And if the sun can trust the timing of the Jah who set its rising, then who am I to be rushing? What the same Jah is still designing for my life. No hurry come, what Jah for you? No hurry come, it have your name right true and true. No hurry come, it can't pass in the road. No hurry come, put down the heavy running load and walk, just walk in the place just set for you. No hurry come, your blessing know exactly where you live. No hurry come, nah, nah. No hurry come, no hurry come, no hurry come. Watch out, feel it coming. No hurry come.
Whoa, na 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 na. The dry season come and the farmer no panic. Him know say the drought is part of the mechanic. Have a soil that need to rest before it give again. Have a earth that have to empty before it call the rain. it in a the dry time, and him mend him fence and tool. Him prepare himself for planting, like a wise man, not a fool. Who curse the dry and cry the dry, and blame the sky for drying, not understanding that the dry is the season for preparing, not the season for despairing. Every season have him reason, every dry time have him purpose, every cold night have him season, every struggle have its surface. Underneath it something growing, underneath the pain something knowing that the next season coming, and it bringing what the suffering was preparing you to carry. Every season having reason, no fight this season you are in. Oh yeah, every season having reason, let it do what it come to do in you. The winter no come to destroy you, the winter come to strip you of everything unnecessary, of everything that trip you. Don't do what you really are beneath the leaves and showing. Don't to the bare essential root that the cold cannot stop growing. Because the root no feel the winter, the root is below the winter. And when the spring come calling, the root already finish all the preparation that the leafy surface never knew was happening underneath the hard time. Every man have a winter, every man have a dry time, every man have a season when the fruit no come on time. And the question is not when will this season end, the question is what is this season asking me to tend within myself. What fence needs mending, what tool needs sharpening, what root needs deepening, what preparation needs completing before the next season open and ask of me more than I currently have to give it. The caterpillar no fight the cocoon, it surrender to the changing. It trusts the transformation, even though the process feel like losing everything that it used to be, and come out something that could never have imagined flying when it was only crawling. Every season of your life is a cocoon, my people. Trust the changing, even when the changing feel like dying. What comes out will fly, what comes out was always going to fly. This season just needed to do its work first. Oh, every season of him reason, every dry time of him purpose, every cold night of him season, every struggle of its surface. Underneath it something growing, underneath the pain something knowing that the next season coming, and they bringing what the suffering was preparing you to carry. Every season having reason, now fight the season you are in. Every season having reason, let it do what it come to do in you.
Look before the fruit, foundation before harvest. Every man want the fruit, but nobody want the rooting. Every man want the harvest, but nobody want the shooting. Of the seed into the darkness, of the ground where no one sees it, into the cold and wet and patient earth that slowly freezes it, into something worth the waiting, into something worth the naming, into a tree that can bear weight before it starts its fruiting claiming. Root before the fruit, my people. This is just first agriculture law. The thing below must be established before the thing above can draw from it without exhausting it. Root before the fruit, root before the fruit. You can't skip the rooting and expect the fruit to suit the season it appearing in. Root before the fruit, character before the platform, wisdom before the wealth. Root before the fruit, foundation before the building. Root before the fruit, or the building fall and the people underneath it. Root before the fruit, root before the fruit. The bamboo spent 5 years underground before it's showing. 5 years of root establishing before an inch above is growing. And when it finally rises, it rises so fast it frightened everything around it that was rushing to the light, and wondering why the bamboo was so long in the dark, not understanding that the root was doing all the unseen work that make the visible growth possible and powerful and lasting. 5 years of rooting for a lifetime of standing. Root before the fruit. Hear me, how many men you see rise fast and fall faster? How many brethren reach the top and can't hold the weight of the top? Because the root was never deep enough for the height they were climbing to. Babylon love to promote the unrooted man, because the unrooted man is easy to topple. When Babylon want him gone, but the rooted man, the deeply rooted man, is a different proposition. You can't topple what your root, you can't uproot what the earth holds. Get rooted, my people, before you get promoted. Root before the fruit. So me no envy the man who rise before him ready. Me pray for him instead, that the root hold him steady. Are the height he reaching to, that the character catch up with the position, that the wisdom fill the space, that the opportunity is asking him to sit in. And me work on my own root in the quiet of the season, knowing that the rooting time is never time wasted. It is time invested in the harvest that will come when Jah decide the root is deep enough to bear it. Root before the fruit, root before the fruit. You can't skip the rooting and expect the fruit to suit the season it appearing in. Root before the fruit, character before the platform, wisdom before the wealth. Root before the fruit, foundation before the building. Root before the fruit, or the building fall on the people underneath it. Root before the fruit, root before the fruit.
Read the sky, science, discernment, and reading the times. farmer rise before the sun, and him look on the horizon. Him read the color of the morning before the light fully rising. Red sky at morning, him know what that I tell him about the weather that is coming, about the rain that will be falling. Him plan him day accordingly, not according to him wanting, but according to the reading of the signs that the sky is sporting. This is discernment, this is the wisdom of the watcher. The man who read the sky before him step out is the man who navigate the coming weather without being ambushed by what he could have seen if him was watching. Read the sky, my people. Read the time before you move. Read the sky, my people. Find the appointed groove of the season you are entering. Before you pack your bag, read the sky. Before you plant your seed, check what the clouds are dragging across the morning. Read the signs, the sons of Issachar. Read the sky. Before they march, they read the sky. Read the sky. Not every open door is a door Jah open. Not every opportunity is the answer to the open that your prayer was building toward. Sometimes the door is a distraction from the wall that Jah is breaking, for a greater satisfaction of the purpose and the plan. So read the sky before you enter. Read the wind before you sail. Read the season of the venture before you let your caution fail. In the excitement of the opening that look like what you're praying for, but no have the peace of Jah behind the threshold of the door. The sons of Issachar did not move until they read the times and understood exactly what this season need from the people of Jah in that particular moment. What posture, what action, what holding, what atonement, what advancing, what retreating, what speaking, what silence. Discernment is the thing that tells you which one in the moment you are standing in. Read the sky before you move. Read the sky. So me slow down me moving, I'ma listen before me talking. Me read the room before me entering. Me read the road before me walking. Down and down it without knowing what the road is asking of me. What the season saying clearly to the man who read it closely. Me no move by feeling only. Feeling is a good beginning, but discernment is the finishing of the process of the winning. Choice over the losing one. Sky reading is the practice of the man who want to walk in the fullness of Jah's purpose, not the edge of it. Read the sky, my people. Read the time before you move. Read the sky, my people. Find the Jah appointed groove of the season you are entering. Before you pack your bag, read the sky. Before you plant your seed, check what the clouds are drag across the morning. Read the signs, the sons of Issachar. Read the sky. Before they march, they read the sky. Read the sky. The sons of Issachar. The
comfort of the rushing, in the noise of the doing, and the business and pushing. Against the current of the time that just set for the season, running past the signs without a stopping, without a reason. But the sons of Issachar are rising in this hour. The ones who read the time are coming into power. Not the power of the throne, not the power of the position, but the power of the knowing of the man with your precision, walking in his appointed season. Issachar rising, the wise men them arise. Issachar rising, with understanding in them eyes. Issachar rising, reading what the others rush past. Issachar rising, walking slow enough to last. Through every season, through every change, through every time that the rushing world cannot explain or navigate or survive. Issachar rising, the sons of wisdom coming alive in this time, in this hour. Issachar rising into Japoa. The sons of Issachar now follow the crowd in a them panic when the economy shaking and the system feeling manic. The sons of Issachar sit down and read the season, ask Jah for the wisdom and the understanding of the reason behind the shaking, behind the breaking, behind the things that falling, that look like destruction, but is really Jah recalling. The word to it's appointed and its purpose and its covenanted, placed beneath the hand of Jah, who never been supplanted by any system or any season. The sons of Issachar know this, and in the knowing find the peace that pass the understanding of the ones who know time to read. Hear the word of the wise from the tribe of Issachar. There is a time for everything, and everything has its time. The seed that was planted in the season of weeping will rise in the season of singing. The root that went deep in the season of drought will bear fruit in the season of rain. The man who was still when the world said run will be standing when the running ones fall from exhaustion. And the sons of Issachar will rise from their stillness and walk into the season that was always appointed for them. From the beginning of time, from before the mountains rose, from before the rivers ran, from before the first morning broke over the first earth. Issachar was already written into the plan of a Jah who never does anything without a time for it. So me call to every soul who feel like them out of season, who feel like them behind, who need the understanding and the reason to keep planting in the dry, to keep rooting in the darkness, to keep reading in the chaos, to keep walking when the path is longer than expected and the harvest still not showing. You are not out of season, you are in the season of the growing, that nobody sees but everybody benefits from. When the fruit come, when the fruit come, and it will come, walking at the appointed time. Read the sky before you move, trust the planting and the reaping, find the Jah appointed groove. No hurry come, it's not your season yet, or maybe, just maybe, it is exactly your season, and you just can't see it yet. From where you're standing, Issachar rising. Read the time, Issachar rising. Trust the time, Issachar rising. Walking at the time that Jah already appointed for your life. Issachar rising. The wise men them arise, Issachar with understanding in them eyes. Issachar reading what the others rush past. Issachar rising, walking slow enough to last through every season, through every change, through every time that the Russian world cannot explain or navigate or survive. Issachar rising, the sons of wisdom coming alive in this time, in this hour.
Sons of Issachar understood the times and knew what to do. Not because them was smarter, because them was still enough to hear what the time was saying. Be still, read the time. Walk when just say walk, rest when just say rest. Plant what is worthy of reaping, root before the fruit, and hurry come. What Jah have for you, know exactly where you live. It's such a rising in this time, in this hour.